Hi folks, welcome back to RDR. We're going to do something a little bit new today. We are going to take a look at an old video gaming magazine from the early 80s, released August, issue 1 of VideoGaming Illustrated. I believe this is 1982. So right off the bat, you see they're promoting Tron. And if you're not familiar with Tron, Tron is a great movie from the early 80s. I think the first to ever use computer-generated graphics. It's quite dated today, but definitely one of those must-see sacred movies, if you ask me. Tron Legacy, I don't know if you ever watched that. Came out earlier in the decade, I think 2010. I enjoyed it, but wasn't as highly regarded by critics from what I can remember. So looks like we're going to have a look at Star Wars and Raiders. I'm guessing Raiders of the Lost Ark. Coming home video gaming. So a lot of Atari in here, Colecovision, I'm sure. Intellivision, maybe. We'll see. I have not looked through this magazine very much. So one thing to note with this program that you'll be viewing this with me on, if there are bifold pages, they do show one at a time. So bear with me on those. I'll explain the best I can as we look at it, but just so you know, if something looks weird, that's why. So let's see here. Looks like we have some strategy guides. Arcade games coming out in 1983. And then news, turn your video game into a super gaming center. First look at the Smurf Wars. Oh boy, let's see what that means. So right off the bat, you'll see what I mean. These bifolds, this is an ad for Atari. Go back. You can see here, it's showing a ton of video games available for Atari. I don't have much experience with Atari. I played it a few times in my life. Once in middle school at my grandparents', I believe, very briefly. Wasn't that thrilled with it. N64 was out, so this was very primitive. And then I played it again in high school at a friend's lake cabin. That's like the only 2 times I've ever played Atari that I can remember. So what games I played, I have no idea. I remember a firefighting game, I think. I don't know. But very limited experience. So Atari's not like a nostalgic thing for me. Looking at these games on these pictures, I don't know any of them. But I think Atari is pretty cool. If I ever found them for the right price with a bunch of games, I would definitely buy it. Oh, ColecoVision. Here's a Coleco ad. Coleco delivers exclusive licensed arcade cartridges for the Atari VCS, Intellivision, and ColecoVision. So right before the video game crash, I'm thinking, everybody's making stuff for everybody, it looks like. Let's see some of these games. We have Donkey Kong, Turbo, Smurf, Mousetrap. I can't read that one there. Coleco's. Let me look. Adventure, Carnival, Zaxxon, and then whatever the heck that bottom one is. Yeah. Table of contents here. So this did come out August 1982. This is the first issue again. I love that picture of that Tron bike, man. That's what I'm talking about. That movie, I mean, the CGI is horribly dated, but for the time, I mean, it was pretty amazing to have gone to see that. I would have been just mesmerized. Looks like we have an editorial here. I'm not going to read too much through this. Games he has his eye on, like Lockjaw, Space Chase, Racquetball, KCKO. I don't know what that is. There's some sort of add-on here. Oh, the voice synthesis module. God, why can't I say that? Voice synthesis module for the it looks like the Intellivision up there. Make your games talk. All right. And then there's the Odyssey one down there. Yikes. Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, Jaws, Frogger. An ad for the Odyssey 2, I think. Oh, no, maybe not. Odyssey 2, a cross between a video game and a board game. What? That's cool. I don't know. The Quest for the Rings. Kind of has a Lord of the Rings sound to me. Kind of goes into how they're making it. No one buys chess or Monopoly because they're fans of war or finance games, but because those games are challenging and multidimensional. Oh, nobody buys them because they're fans. That can go two different ways. You could read that as nobody's buying because they're a fan of this. Or, I mean, that's not the greatest quote. That's all I'm going to say. I love Monopoly. The long-awaited Odyssey is coming in mid-1983. Whole bunch of video games here. Bunch of Activision video games. Must be an Activision ad. I love how games were so simple back then. Just, Grand Prix, laser blast, skiing, ice hockey, fishing, boxing. Just simple. They didn't think long term in any way. I don't know what this is. Oh, a profile of Jim Levy, the Activision president. Okay, well, we won't read through that. I love how there's very limited pictures in these earlier magazines and just tons of text, which I'm obviously not going to read in any capacity. So there's that. The past is the future. Only $4.98 each. What are they trying to... Some sort of cassettes? I don't know what this is. The teledapter allows the video gamer greater control over the tone and pitch of the video game's sound effects. These add-ons are weird and bizarre. Coleco climbing toward video supremacy. That is a cool ad picture. There's a Telestar for video sports games on any TV. Junk. There's a Colecovision at the bottom there. Never played Intellivision or ColecoVision or any of that stuff, or Odyssey, unfortunately. I'd love to. I don't really collect the really old consoles. Mine are all NES on up, for the most part, till about PS2. And the PS2 isn't even mine. I bought that for my girlfriend for Guitar Hero. But I do enjoy it. Playing like NHL 2003 on that is still a lot of fun. All right, here's that game, the Smurf Wars, and I mean, just judging from the picture, it looks about what you'd expect. Never played it, don't know anything about it. Some Coleco, it looks like, ads. I mean, Atari compatible cartridge. It's no wonder the crash happened. If for whatever reason you are not familiar with the video game crash, which I'm sure if you watch a channel like mine in anything like it, you're aware. But if you're not, the video game crash of the early 1980s was due to a completely oversaturated market, and I think a little bit to do with these cross-compatible cartridges and just the mess. It's as messy as it sounds. I mean, games got really crappy, mass-produced, and kind of just people just burnt out. It got just to be too much. So, and people stop caring when that happens. Oh boy, Tron. The most innovative motion pictures in years takes viewers on an incredible journey inside a video game. That's basically what happens. But the effects in this are great. And I love Tron Legacy. I thought it was a great movie, personally. Again, if you're not familiar, Tron Legacy was the sequel that came out, let me think here, 38 years? Wait. Yeah, I think it was like 82 was Tron, I believe. 2002. Yeah, almost 30 years later. 2010, I believe. But I thought it was great. Some pictures of Tron here. If you haven't seen these movies, I recommend them. The first one's tough to sit through at this point. I will admit, it's fun to watch once. You probably won't watch it again. It is visually aesthetic for the time, but it is, for me, it's tough to sit through for like multiple viewings. It's good once though. I probably should see it again. I have not seen it in so long that I could probably just use a refresher, but not a movie that I keep in like that arsenal of movies where I could watch over and over. You know what I mean? I think everybody has their select movies where like they're just, it doesn't get old. This is not one for me. This is what I'm trying to say. Some more pictures of Tron here. And if you've ever played the Tron video game, it's pretty fun. You ride light bikes around, trying to make the other one crash. Pretty straightforward, pretty fun though. It's kind of shown in that picture at the bottom there. A little bit more on Tron here. Fun to look at. And if you're wondering, yeah, those images are exactly what the movie looks like. And for the early 80s, it was pretty innovative. Oh boy. The Game of Tomorrow. Superman. Fighting for truth, justice, and the American way in under 2 minutes flat. Does that mean the game's only 2 minutes long? No. What is Superman sitting in? What is this? I have never seen a super chair in my life. So what is that? Looks like a super chair. Superman versus Lex Luthor. Never played this game. Seen it in many a YouTube video, as you might have too. Never played it myself. Not a great game from what I've seen and heard. This looks to be another 2-part bifold here. See if I can put this together. Either this is their best space game ever, or my living room is going 165 miles per hour. So let's go back here. Star Strike is the game they're advertising, and I have never played it. Looks to be for the Intellivision. Aliens up ahead. Aliens attacking from the rear. Alien ships on every side. I'm guessing it moves really fast, and it's one of those straight line shoot 'em. I don't know. Never played it. Conquering Laser Blast. How to make sure you're not the blaster and not the blastee. So this looks to be one of those strategy guides for this game. Yep. And there's another one for UFO. Ramming and blasting your way to a safer universe. The one thing I do enjoy about these older games is the game is never the cover, really. It's always some sort of artwork. And that had to be good because that's what you were being sold on. Literally not what the gameplay was, but the artwork that was being portrayed to you as a kid in the store, I can imagine, would drive you to want to buy it because they're not going to show those pixelated games. At least I don't see any ads ever like that. It's always this kind of artwork, which is awesome. I think it's always really pretty cool. So, Amusement Operators Expo 82, an arcade experience. That'd have been fun. Jack the Giant Killer. Move over Pac-Man. Well, I don't know about that whole move over Pac-Man because I don't know this game. This is what's coming to the arcades. All right, here we go. I'm not too familiar with a lot of those. I mean, there's 2084, of course, Zaxxon. Hit? Yeah. Risky Tom, D-Day I've never played. And Locomotion I've never played either. I always liked the 2084, the look of that arcade cabinet. I think it's just awesome. All right, War of the Worlds. Oh, what? That would be great. I love everything War of the Worlds. Yes, I even love the Tom Cruise movie. It is flawed, but I love it. If you haven't seen the Tom Cruise movie from the mid 2000s, it's got its problems, but man, it's definitely entertaining. It could have used a much better ending. I'll just say that. Robotron 2084. It's more arcade, it looks like. Yeah, arcade picks here. Another strategy guide for Defender. Again, the artwork is just awesome. I think it's great. Conquering Defender Stargate. Wow, they have a lot of strategy guides in here. I like that image. Not familiar with this arcade, though. Stargate. That's cool. If you are into arcades, I do have a Facebook page called Retro Arcade Gaming. Please like that, post on it. I try to keep 100% response rate. I look at everything people post, and I always try to post cool stuff that can just keep the arcade spirit fresh. So, again, that's Retro Arcade Gaming. What do we got here? What is this? The Professional Arcade gives you more. By Astrocade. Astrocade includes free over with Atari comparable options. Wow, some sort of Atari ripoff. Never heard of it. You can't beat it. Well, that's a great way to advertise a video game. Hey, you can't beat this game. Not familiar with Star Master. And I'm sure people who are like way into this are probably like ripping their hair out when I say, oh, I don't know what that is. I never played that. I don't know what that is. So I'm sorry. It's just not my nostalgic niche here. But I do enjoy looking at magazines of this stuff nonetheless. Now, these little guys are awesome. These things, I remember my buddy had the football game style version of one of these, and man, did we play the crap out of that. I never owned one, though, personally. These little handhelds. Looks like we got Donkey Kong, and we got Frogger at the top there. Ooh! Blade Runner Official Souvenir Magazine. Oh, man! Over 100 photos and illustrations, 68 big pages, color centerfold, quality paper. That would be awesome! I would buy that if I could send that in and get it still. I bet that thing is worth money. Always love that cover of Blade Runner 2. Great movie. Haven't seen the sequel yet, so it's on my list. A monthly column in which celebrities look at video games. Oh boy. Charlton Heston is looking at just finished The Three Musketeers and was waiting for a plane. God, that is just dates Charlton Heston. I'll let you pause it and read some of these if you want. I am certainly not going to. Um, that is hilarious. A little cancer ad there. Weird. There's that Expo 82 article. Pressure groups abound. Lawmakers are quick to pass negative arcade legislation. That's funny. The hyperspace button is misplaced, but the better defender games players ignore it. It completely again, no idea what they're talking about. The aliens as they appear on the video screen. Well, that's kind of cool to show what all those bizarre shapes are as you blast them away. Okay, little Stargate. Looks like we got a little Raiders of the Lost Ark talk here. Unleash your joystick. I'll let you read through some of this if you want to. Another ad. I'm trying to figure out what it is. Oh, it's for VideoGaming Illustrated at the top there. Looks like a book or something. Yeah, like a book purchase at the bottom here. High Road. I don't know. A little bit more on Superman. Ooh, new games from Apollo. Racquetball, Space Cavern, Lost Luggage. Jeez. And Lockjaw. Lost Luggage. What is Lost Luggage? That's what I really want to know. The Complete Guide to Conquering Video Games. That'd be a cool book to have nowadays. Maybe worth something. Who knows? A little bit more on certain games. None of which I'm familiar with. I know. What is this? Oh, it's a movie. Okay. Tex. Coming to theaters this summer. Starring Matt Dillon, Jim Metzler, Meg Tilly, Ben McKinney, and Ben Johnson. His father's gone. His mother's a memory. His brother's moving on. But Tex McCormick isn't giving it. I have never seen that or heard of it. So that's awesome. It's rated PG. I might need to track that down now just for the heck of it. That's hilarious. Okay. What in the world am I looking at here? The Great Wall Street Fortune Hunt. This must be one of those board game ones. Odyssey 2. Investment World. Oh boy. Yuck. No thanks. All right. Well, that is the first magazine read through I've done. So let me know what you think of these. I plan on doing a lot more. I really enjoy looking at this kind of stuff. And if you do too, then great. Feel free to like this video, subscribe to this channel. Trying to think of new ways to put out content every day. So let me know what you find interesting, what you don't, and I'll try to lead this channel in the right direction as it develops. So as always, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.